Thank you for taking this time to watch this video. On this video, we'll explain what to do if your vehicle doesn't have ABS. ABS stands for Anti-Lock Braking System. It's an amazing technology. It has revolutionized how we drive on wet roads. It's a good technology, but I'm sure most of the old cars do not have ABS. Even my car doesn't have ABS. So in case if you don't have ABS, what could you do? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of ABS? That's what we're going to see in this video. Let's move on to the next one. Let's understand what's ABS. So ABS stands for Anti-Lock Braking System. What it actually does is it prevents wheel lockup. So when you apply your brakes, your tires stop, but your car doesn't. Meaning, you'll apply your brakes, your tires will stop rotating, but your vehicle will continue to move with the inertia that it has. So this is a proper skid, and ABS intervenes to ensure that you don't skid. So what it actually does, it holds the brake, releases the brake, holds the brake, releases the brake in a rapid fashion, so that your wheels continues to rotate, and you'll be able to turn your car and you will not hit anything else. So that's what ABS does. ABS just holds your brakes, releases your brakes, holds your brakes, releases your brake in 100 times per second. Right? So that's how fast it does. So it prevents wheel skids by doing that. So there are many types of ABS. So the common ones that you have heard is dual channel and mono channel. This predominantly comes in bikes. So mono channel comes in cars as well. So mono channel is just one set of wheels that will be enabled with ABS. For example, bikes have them mostly, especially the ones which are a little cheaper. So mono channel just works on the front brakes. It happens in cars as well. So earlier days when cars were equipped with ABS, you will just have the front brakes being enabled, so which is a mono channel ABS. Dual channel ABS is, as the word says, it acts on both your front and the rear wheels. Luxury cars a little more expensive, premium, have dual channel ABS. So that's a basic difference. Apart from that, there's something called basic, pro, and sports ABS. So these are predominantly, so as I said, so ABS is nothing but it holds your brakes, releases, holds your brake, releases. If your tire gets locked, so there's an ABS sensor. So if it detects that the tire is locked, it just holds your brake, releases in a very rapid fashion. So basic is a little slow in terms of maybe about just trying to make you understand, not the exact figures. So basic might hold about 10 times per second. Pro would be a little better, maybe 100 times per second. Sports will be about 1000 times per second. So modern day sports car would have about, maybe when I say a sports car, it could be a AMG, BMW M3, M5. So all these would have sports ABS. So this is predominantly not called out anywhere because people might want to ask more about the specs. But the ABS of your Maruti Alto versus an ABS of a BMW M3. So this is the difference. So in Alto you will have a basic ABS which holds about 10 times per second. In sports, which is in an M3, BMW M3, will have a sports ABS which probably holds your brakes 1000 times per second. So that's the major differences. And there's a lot of advantages. It prevents your car from skidding it and ensure that you go in a proper line that you want to when you brake. There's a lot of advantages. The only disadvantage with ABS is it increases the braking distance. So on a dry road, a car with ABS and a non-ABS, if both applies brake together, the car with a non-ABS will stop faster. So that's the only disadvantage. But comparing the advantages, I think it's always best to have ABS enabled on a bike or to buy a vehicle which has ABS. So you don't have ABS, so what do you do? Right? So as I said, so what ABS does is it holds your brake, releases your brake when it detects wheel skids. So you can manually do that, just that you'll be able to twice or thrice a second, but it still helps. So pump your brakes, press your brakes, release, press your brake, release. That is ABS kind of a technology that you are doing by human strength. So pump your brakes, that will help. Try to break the load on your brakes. So when I say try to break the load, so when you are braking, it's called progressive braking as well. So you brake it, you start braking at a point with a level of load, and then you gradually increase your load and you stop when you want to stop. So that's what spreading the load or progressive braking, all it means. For example, so there's about 50 meters, and those 50 meters you ensure that you brake progressively. So if you want to stop in 50 meters, ensure that you start your brakes right from the first meter and gradually increase your braking power to ensure that you stop in 50 meters. So generally what we do, if you want to stop in 50 meters, we try to brake in about 30 meters, 40 meters, or even 25 meters. So please don't do that. So that's what progressive braking is all about. Instead of braking in about 40 meters or 30 meters, you start braking with lesser load or 0 meters, and you slowly increase the braking load from 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, and you stop exactly at 50 meters, but you have spread the load across the 50 meter stretch. So that really helps. So that's what's called progressive braking, and you can spread the load and ensure that it's good for your tires and brake pads as well, and of course it's comfortable for passengers as well. Second is engine braking. I'm sure most of you would know what it is. So when you are not applying a sudden brake, it's always good to have engine braking. Engine braking is just downshifting, or not just don't press your clutch. So if you're going to have a sudden brake, it's better to press your clutch and apply brake so that you can come to a standstill faster. But if you are on a highway, if you want to gradually reduce your speed, engine braking is good for you. So you don't press your clutch, either you can downshift or you can just stay in the gear and reduce your speed by pressing the brakes and engaging the gear. And if you want an aggressive brake, you can downshift as well. So what really differentiates here, apart from reducing your speed, is all your four wheels will be in a tandem motion. So it ensures that you have a very effective braking when you use engine braking method. There's a lot of ways how to effectively use it. You can do a little more search on Google. If you want any help, ping us, we'll be happy to help you out. Of course, tire pressures, called out a lot in other videos as well. On wet roads, ensure to have the higher side of your manufacturer's recommended tire pressures. On a sunny day, dry roads, ensure to have lesser tire pressure within the tolerance of the manufacturer. For example, if you're driving a Scorpio and your tire pressures are recommended by the organized company is 34 to 36. So on a wet day, you'll use 36 psi. On a dry day, you will use 34 psi. So that's the better way to do it. And minimize braking on bumps and wet spots. So that will lock up your wheels and you lose traction. You'll start to skid. So if you see a speed bump and you want to apply brakes, apply your brakes before you hit the speed bump and let the car just bump over the speed bump without any brakes. So that will help you to prevent road skids, and not just that, it decreases a lot of pressure on your brake and suspension components. So team, so this is all I had to share. With these efforts, you can almost match the benefits provided by ABS, but of course with a lot of computer working, humans can't defeat computer in terms of computing power and the speed it operates in, but using these techniques you might just be able to have a safe trip. I've been surviving it without ABS for a decade, so I've been using these techniques and it's worked perfectly fine for me. Thank you. So team, thank you so much for hearing out for the whole video. I'm assuming that this video is really helpful, and especially for beginners who have just bought a two-wheeler, especially a motor scooter or a scooter. Just ensure that you share this video and so they benefit out of it. And I hope there's significant reduction in the number of falls people have on wet roads using this technology. And thanks again for watching. please free to like, share and subscribe this video. And if there is any suggestions, recommendations you would like to share, please drop in an email to autobuffindia@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you, team. If you have liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel for more content. Any queries, any support, any feedback, please feel free to ping us on autobuffindia@gmail.com. Thank you.